Yes, US 5th episode. So, we're going to be doing an episode on slashers. We were originally going to do it on Independence Day 1 and 2, but we'll do a quick run through of that. Independence Day 1, awesome. Independence Day 2, shit. Independence Day 3 will never fucking happen because the second one was shit. There you go. Alright. So, let's go. So, I decided, this was originally going to be a Friday the 13th franchise review because, summer camping, but I was like, fuck it, we'll save that for when the new one comes out, January 13th? And we'll just save it. Yeah, that's when the new one's coming out.
Like 6 months.
So, fuck it, we'll just save it and we'll fucking wait. So, I'm just playing some Resident Evil right now, some fucking awesome, horrible fun. Alright. But, yeah, so pretty much we're just going to sit here and talk about... We're not going to go through each individual fucking slasher movie of the main franchises, but we're just going to go over the franchises and just give our general thoughts about them and, pick out our favorite one or favorite ones. So, pretty much, let's just start off. The slasher genre started off in fucking 1960 with Psycho, Jupiter, what the fuck you got?
There's another movie before that.
Yeah, there's one before that, but it really got popular with...
Yeah, Psycho was the one that made it incredibly popular.
It was Peeping Tom. That was the first one. Peeping Tom was the first one. So
I've never actually seen that one.
Me either. I heard that it was, I heard that it was okay for the time it came out, but I haven't actually seen.
Psycho. I can watch Psycho and not get bored.
Yeah, I really enjoy the first one.
I really enjoy the first one. And to be fair, the shot-for-shot remake of it is well, yes, it's a fucking shot-for-shot remake.
Yeah, it's not a good movie. I will say that. It's not good. But I enjoy it.
But you have Vince Vaughn playing Norman Bates, and I want to see him do more serious stuff. He is a great serious actor.
Yeah.
It looks like the first slasher film was made in 1930 with a movie that was called Grand Guignol. I have no idea.
What country is this?
I think the first American one was Peeping Tom.
Okay, probably.
Correction, the first good American one.
Yeah, because I remember Peeping Tom.
What's the name of that movie? Yes.
Grand Guignol. I'll spell it out for you. Guignol. That's how you spell the second part of it.
Guignol?
Guignol, yes.
Fucking movie is
it looks like a French movie.
Yeah.
Or something.
Actually, it looks, it does look like a French movie. Yeah, it's French.
Yeah.
Oh, I just guessed. Cool.
But, so pretty much, that really started, but fucking Psycho was pretty much the big thing. It wasn't really the one that started it, but it was played an intricate role.
Alfred Hitchcock is a real god. He's a fucking god.
Alfred Hitchcock is really good. The thing is with Alfred Hitchcock, I remember seeing Psycho. Psycho, I really enjoy, but it's not. I will say, if I do think about it, look at the timeline of slasher films, it is really not the one that made it really popular. It's just the one that inspired the one to be really popular. So
to me, and it's just this way with movies in general, is that movie genres and movie types go in cycles, and they come in waves and stuff, and. Back when Psycho came out, it was at a huge low, because it wasn't even popular at all.
It was waiting for the big comeback.
Well, no, there wasn't any big...
Well, it's waiting to fucking just blow up.
They thought it was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, and so after a while, after Psycho, it had some good ones here and there, but it was still kind of in the medium area, and then I believe it went higher in the 70s.
Yeah, 1970. It
went higher in the 70s, and then it kept getting higher in the 80s, and then it just started going down and down and down, and then it got revamped with Scream.
So we'll talk about
Chainsaw Massacre was made in 1974.
1974.
That was a pretty big comeback.
Yeah,
that was pretty good for slasher films.
Yeah, so if we go through the...
It started rising in the 70s and 80s.
I'm saying we're going to go through the timeline. So Psycho was really the one that was the first big slasher film. Then we go to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was released in 1974, directed by Tobe Hooper, and stars Gunnar Hansen, and it's pretty much... It isn't really your conventional horror, like, slasher. Like, there is... I think Leatherface uses the chainsaw once? I think?
What, when he kills somebody? Or
yeah, he uses it once to kill someone. So, but then he uses... It's more... I'd say it's more torture if you think about it in the end. It's a little bit more torture than it is slasher.
But when you get down to it, he does hunt them all down.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. It is true. He does hunt them down, but the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think it's good. The thing about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's kind of the redheaded stepchild of all the big slasher ones. Like, I'd even say Scream is more popular than the...
It's like the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's fun. It's just that I never found Leatherface to be that scary or anything, because the thing is, he's a man, you know? You could kill that motherfucker.
I found him to be funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't find him to be scary. Like... Especially on the end scene of the movie where she's running down the road and he's literally skipping behind her, just like swerving and not giving a shit.
Or like fucking waving his chainsaw up in the air and screaming, fucking dressed up as a woman and shit. It's just it was influential for that time, but I mean it's just for me. I don't really care about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or any of the sequels. He was the one who
prepared the food.
Yeah, and fucking the old ass motherfucker grandpa, and they're trying to have him kill the chick. You know, they're grabbing his hand with the hammer in it and trying to hit her. They're like, "Come on, grandpa!" It's like, oh fuck. I mean, the movie wasn't that.
It seems that they were just really highlighting the fact that these people are not by any means sane.
Yeah,
that's why they're doing this. So it's like they were just... I would definitely feel like they were over-exaggerating it, because they wanted you to know these are not how normal people act, and this is why it's called a slasher.
Yeah. Like, I could see, like...
In movies like in Scream, it starts off with these people that seem normal, and then you don't know until the end that, you know, these people... that people they thought were normal clearly are still fucked in the head. They're trying to do shit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot different. I mean, of all the slasher franchises, I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is my least favorite, definitely by far. I mean, I never cared for it, or maybe like Chucky. I never really got into Chucky. Like, it's those two that I don't personally give a shit about. Like, I could see people do, but it's just for me that it's just Chucky, I just don't care.
Chucky never really felt like a slasher movie to me. It was it was just more like its own thing off to the side.
Well, he does chase people around with a knife and kills them in different ways. So it is.
But he's a doll.
But he's a doll. Well, then again, you know, in the Friday the 13th and all of them, you know, Jason's a zombie and Michael Myers is considered a shape. You know, he's a force of nature. You know. I mean, it is slashers or slashers.
At least I can't kick them away with one foul swoop.
Yeah, true, but it's still considered a slasher.
Chucky was being possessed by by a fucking psychopath. Like,
no, he was being possessed by a murderer.
Yeah, it's still slasher.
A lot of people.
It's
still a slasher. Despite the flaws in that movie particularly, which is the fact that, it's a doll.
Yeah.
You can still fucking kick it away and do shit.
Even after the chick throws it in the fire and then it jumps
I just
out,
never found it scary.
Yeah. Bites a piece out of her arm.
Yeah. So we'll get to
It was not any normal doll.
Yeah. So we'll get to Chucky.
I don't know how well it worked.
We'll get to Chucky for the 90s period. So
around
So if we look at after Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if we just give it about the series, my thoughts on the series is just it's whatever. I already said mine. What is yours, Donald?
I like the first one. I think it's a fun movie. It's not by any means scary, but it's a slasher movie, but it's not by any means scary. Some of the later iterations for it were all right. Some of them were actually somewhat enjoyable. Some of them were just garbage.
Yeah.
Particularly the 2013 one.
The remake was probably the funny thing about the remake is I don't give a shit about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the remake is definitely honestly that and Friday the 13th are the best slasher remakes.
Which one? Which remake?
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Which one? There's like a bunch.
The one that came out in 2003 with Jessica Biel.
Yeah, that one's good.
That was actually a really good remake. I will give him that.
I will give you that.
Yeah, that's
like
one of the best slasher remakes.
one of the best ones.
Yeah. All right. What's
and
your
also with like in the movies?
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Tyler, on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the series?
Well, I, for one, probably wouldn't be the best person to talk about horror films because I didn't stop being a bitch until, like, I would say 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I still have a lot of movies to catch up on.
Yeah.
I'm mostly getting these facts that I'm stating so far off of Wiki.
Yeah.
Which is not the best place to hear facts off of, but to be fair, it's majorly correct.
Yeah.
So I've heard of shit about the series. I can't really explain to you details, but I know that the general idea of the series, and I'd say from slasher film standpoint, it could. I think they're still working on it, of course, but I think it could have been better.
Yeah.
But I think just from the fact that these people are crazy and these are not supposed to be normal people, I think they pretty much hit that on the nose. These people are not by any means normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The chick was sitting in a fucking chair of bones, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know that much.
When was the last time you saw that movie? The first one?
Never, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
I've
never?
only seen clips of it.
It's not bad.
That's what I'm saying. I've never...
Jupiter
like,
stuff.
the first scene that you see one of the guys in is he's a hitchhiker that they pick up on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about weird shit, and then he grabs they have a guy who's in a wheelchair, and he grabs his arm and just cuts it, and he's like,
it's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
And then they kick him out of the van and drive away.
I kind of want to watch the movie though. To be fair,
it's like you think of like plains, like old wheatgrass and stuff like that, and then a house in the middle of the field. They literally filmed it like the most broken down hick fucking house ever in the middle. They just got a couple of their friends together, put some guy in a mask, and said, "Run around."
It's literally they found an abandoned house, pretty much,
mm-hmm.
and then they was like, all right, what's the scary shit that we can get? Oh, room full of chainsaws and knives. Cool. All right, let's get some fake bones. Make this room look bloody and stained. Good.
Yeah,
they did a good job on that.
I will say the first jump scare that's in the film where it's the blonde guy. I forgot his name. I'm gonna see what his name. Let me see.
Oh, I don't remember his
Brother
name.
Franklin Joseph.
I haven't seen that movie
Jerry.
in years.
To be fair, this movie was a low-budget movie. It wasn't.
Well, yeah.
The character of it's pretty much 5 people. So pretty much Kirk, which is the blonde guy. When Kirk goes up to he goes into the house first. It's pretty much so stupid because all these people venture into the house one by one and just get taken out. So like he goes in, Kirk, and then it pretty much like he looks through a door, like he's trying to get through this like door, like it has like a whole bunch of like dead stuffed animal heads on it, and he's looking at it, and then the door you just see him there. It's like there's no like music or anything to signal that there's tension. You just see him there like looking at the door, looking around, and then right after he turns around, the door just opens, boom, and Leatherface just comes out, hits him over the head, and drags him in. That was a pretty good jump scare.
Yeah.
That got me when I was a kid. Because I'd never seen it before, and it was like, oh shit.
So we can jump into the next genre of stuff, which probably would be, according to this, Black Christmas was made in 1974.
Yeah, Black Christmas. Yeah.
A pretty big effect on the genre.
Yeah.
I've personally never seen the movie. I've seen parts of it.
It's all right. People say that this is the first holiday film. Yes, it is, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's great.
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day
isn't the
first. I don't know. So pretty much it's about. It's God. So you look up here.
It's hard to describe.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in years. That's why I'm trying to look right here. But I don't know if it was
like
a remake.
A person named Joan Collins who murders her husband on Christmas
Scary
Eve
Santa Claus.
because of this crime cannot call police and cannot escape psychopath in a Santa costume terrorizes her. Apparently, they just shit just gets crazy after that.
Yeah, it was. The thing was like. It was like, I don't know, I guess it was trying, it came out the same year, I guess it was trying to capitalize on the success of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it didn't go out. That's the thing. If you have a really good movie that really sweeps America, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre did, but you don't have a follow-up movie, like, not a sequel, but like a movie in the same vein that isn't good, then you're going to lose it. That's what really, the next film after this, that movie was great, and then the film after that started up another franchise. Those two movies were really great, and that's why slashers really took off. But Black Christmas, I saw it once. I don't even remember. It was probably like when I was 13, 14. It's okay. It's kind of weird, where it's like a mom has a thing for her son, and then gets pregnant, and then that's the killer and stuff like that. It's really weird.
Okay.
But I mean, it's whatever. I thought it was okay.
Kinda dumb.
Yeah, it really is, but I mean,
after doing some research, it came nowhere close
Jupiter.
to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it made around $4 million.
Apparently, the budget for that movie was $600,000 and made only $4 million.
Yeah, it made $4 million.
In box office. And guess what the budget was for Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
It was like something low, and it made like 30-something million.
Yeah, it was $300,000 and it made $30.8 million.
Yeah.
So clearly, that movie just fucking blew it out of the water.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Hardcore.
Yeah, people didn't really give a shit. So if we continue on, we get on to this slasher film, which is tied for my favorite horror film along with Scream, which we're going to do later. And this one is called Halloween. Came out in 1978. Came out October 25th, 1978, directed by John Carpenter. It was John Carpenter's third film after his previous film, Assault on Precinct 13, was a huge hit, which was pretty much police officers stuck in a building that are getting attacked by waves of gangs. So John Carpenter, he pretty much came up with this idea when he's just like, oh, wouldn't it be scary if evil took the form of a person and decided to go after people? And so he was thinking, okay, well, how would we do something like that? So he was like, oh, okay, well, you do it like babysitters, because there's a lot of babysitters back then, a lot of girls watching over people. So we said, okay, well, why don't we do something like that? So it was pretty much called The Babysitter Murders at first, and then Mustafa Akkad, the person who funded it, Mustafa Akkad, he was funding a film then called, let me see Mustafa Akkad.
Like Halloween Killer or some shit like that.
No, he was producing a film called Something of the Desert. It was a big epic film, a big epic war film that took place in the Arabian Desert. And John Carpenter came to him and they're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the money for this film, $325,000. And John Carpenter said, Mustafa Akkad said, okay, I get you're looking at this film, okay? How much is it going to take, how much money do you think it'll be to get the film? And John Carpenter said, oh, like $325,000. And Mustafa Akkad said, whoa, you'll make me a movie for $325,000? Which at that time, for that epic war film, it was taking around $325,000 a day to film his epic war movie. So he was like, fuck it, let's put the money into it, see where it goes. And on this film, you have interesting facts. You had Robert Englund working on this film as well, behind the scenes.
Also it starred Jamie Lee Curtis. That was like a big film for him too.
Jamie Lee Curtis, and the reason why, another big inspiration for this film was Psycho, because Jamie Lee Curtis's mother was the main character in Psycho.
Yeah.
And so it was huge back then. Jupiter, get the fuck out of my closet, I swear.
That movie made $70 million.
Yeah, $70 million.
325.
Yeah. Around that.
Yeah. That's insane. For 1978.
It's crazy. For
1978. And, a film that, was made off of peanuts, really wasn't expecting anything. $70 million back then for a horror film was unheard of, It was huge. The movie took America by storm. And so, Halloween came out, and it was just huge. Let me think. John Carpenter, it's not my favorite John Carpenter film. I'd say that I do like The Thing a little bit more. I also would say The Fogs. I don't know. The Fogs I think I like just as much as this, but it is a great film from John Carpenter. But if we go through the rest of the series, I'm just going to give my quick thoughts on Part 2. Part 2 is my favorite sequel. I do like how it continues exactly the second where number 1 left off, and it continues the same night. I really enjoyed that. But after that, I could give a shit about the rest of them. I could take them or leave them, and it's just like, it's sad because if you think about it, Halloween has like the most potential of like just evil taking the form of a person and going after. Like Friday the 13th, that's kind of straightforward, it's just a killer there. Scream, it's just killers going after people, or like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Well, Halloween has a lot of potential to do a lot of things like that in Nightmare on Elm Street, but Halloween, it's sad that, it started off so great and then it's just fucking fizzled out like a fart. It's exactly how I feel about it now.
It's funny because considering off of the very first Friday the 13th movie was budgeted at a higher amount and also made less in the box office.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you that it isn't all about necessarily how much money that you put into it.
Yeah. But
just the sheer director, like the person that's directing it and writing it, and the practicality of it. Because it was like a huge movie for the genre. And it was just huge. It was so good.
Yeah, so Halloween. So, Donald, do you guys want to give your final thoughts on Halloween and the franchise before we move on next?
Well, for me at least, the Halloween. Again, I like the first one. I like the first one, and I love the first one, and the second one's awesome because it continues literally. Yeah. Right at the end of the first. Yeah. But then you have all these ones after, which are garbage.
They try to explain too much. They take away the ambiguity.
And then you have the Rob Zombie remake.
Oh, God. Rob Zombie. Those are the worst remakes of any slasher. I don't care about Nightmare on Elm Street. The difference about the Nightmare on Elm Street thing is that, yes, it might have made him a pedophile and stuff like that, but it didn't completely ruin the fucking character. Like, Freddy was still Freddy. Halloween, the problem with Halloween is that they made Michael Myers in the original film was like this 5'11" scary guy. Halloween remake, he's 7 foot, he's some redneck fuck with long fucking facial hair, long hair, look like he's death metal band. His parents are pieces of shit. His mom's a stripper, his dad's some lazy fuck piece of shit redneck. Yeah. And it's horrible.
But then, like, the thing is, I still watched the movie. I watched it once. Yeah. Because it was just something that they were doing at my college. They're like, oh, we're going to have horror movie nights. I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh, Halloween? Yeah. Yeah, that was the long time I've seen it, too.
So I watched it, and I already knew it was going to be garbage. So what I did was I tried to watch it as kind of a standpoint of this is its own movie. And even then, I still don't like it. Yeah. Like, but if you take it as a standalone movie and you don't know anything about the characters or anything from like before it, you're watching it. Yes, the beginning is horrible. Yeah. Awful, stupid as fuck. But then you get to the part where, well, maybe if you're we don't know anything about the Halloween series before this, but you have the mentally fucked up person who is Michael Myers, but he's in there and he escapes, and the only person who's ever showed him care ever
kills him.
Gets killed off.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
So you're basically trying to tell a story about this character, and even if you don't know anything about the old stuff, you kill off the only person who's been nice to him this entire time. They're
trying to show he's an evil son of a bitch, though. So I mean.
Yeah, they did a good job on that, I thought, because
I was pissed off.
Yeah, he saved some girl from being raped.
Things that it's either a hit or miss on the fan standpoint, because like you think as from a movie standpoint, you could tell, or as from a person to person standpoint, you can tell that he's obviously not there in his head at all. Yeah. And after he gets this news, and then it's just like he's gone. He's fucking gone. He just kills that guy with no sorrow. But then it's like, if you were, I would say, like a veteran movie critic. Yeah. And you don't necessarily care as much about oh, you know, I like that character because I like him. They more or less grade off of the movie itself, and like, okay, this person's fucked up. Obviously, he needs to kill this person right now because he is fucked up. I guarantee you, if he would have went on and didn't kill that guy, what would have happened? The movie would have been over with.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a nice guy now.
Yeah, true. That is true. But
he killed the only guy who was nice guy.
No, I mean, like, again, it's a hit or miss.
Yeah, that's not a problem with me. The problem is that Halloween, the original one was started off as an original, you know, starts off it's this person, you don't know who it is, it's this person in a mask, goes up to the sister's room and kills her, and then goes out and to pull up the mask, oh, it's this little boy, and that was so creepy about it. And then flash forwards 30 years later, and, you know, it's this guy goes back to his town, you know, and just saying, why does he killing people? Well, we didn't know, because, you know, it was just, maybe it was because, that's the great thing, it was ambiguity. Maybe it's just, you know, because it was his sister, or maybe because of this, or maybe it's just because he likes to kill people, and then that's just what sick people do. That's what creepy about it. The problem with the remake is that it spends the first like 40 to 50 minutes having him as a kid trying to explain everything, and that just takes all the ambiguity and mysteriousness out of it, and it really is just all like, wow, you know, now we know everything about him. What's scary?
Yeah.
Also, it's practically unbearable to watch.
Oh yeah, part of the movie. Yeah. The rednecks, literally, it's horrible.
You can go.
No, go.
I was gonna say, like, when you start explaining backstory too much, it leaves nothing for the audience.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of when I was watching a review of Avatar, I'm not gonna try to defend this piece of shit movie.
Yeah.
But a big reason why it flopped is because, like, I would say 80% of it was storytelling and no action at all. And it wasn't like the people that go and see the movie were fans of the show. They fucking know the backstory.
Yeah.
They just want to see it on on TV. Like,
Yeah.
The other thing that was wrong with that movie, and the major reason it flopped is because most of the people who went to see it were fans of the show, and when they went to see it, he shit on them.
Yeah.
Shit on them.
They changed it.
They changed it way too much. They got half the names wrong. The whole race thing was a problem. There's a lot of problems.
Because the director, like, half of the actors were Indian. No, it's a well-known fact that he will hire a majority of Indians to cast in his films.
No, he won't. Most of his movies don't have Indians.
White as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, they see. Oh, that's
M. Night Shyamalan. It's M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, I was thinking.
M. Night Shyamalan, dong, fuckface, motherfucker.
Yeah, no. The reason why he had all the Fire Nation be like a certain race and all these other people be a certain race is because what he wanted he thought that all of the people of the certain like of the tribes or whatever, the nations, should be a certain race. Mm-hmm. And that's why. Yeah. That's why it's like that. When in the show, everybody's pretty much the same race.
Yeah, that's why, like, fucking...
It took place inside of one country, didn't it? In the show?
Well, no, it took place inside of one world that was a country that was divided by some things.
It was just fucked up.
It was big enough to where you had people on other sides.
It was just fucked up. So, pretty much, getting back to Halloween, it's just, that's what happens when you change shit for the worse. Like, that's the thing. You're gonna get fucked either way if you change it or something or not. Because it is, like, you know, it is, then again, it is Rob Zombie's interpretation, but then again, like, he just butchered it, you know, what it originally was, you know, and it's Rob Zombie, he's a great visual director, like, the movie visually looks really good, but it's still fucking, it's literally like, when I watch it, I just can't watch it, and the second one's even worse. He explains it to us why he's killing, because his mother, riding a white unicorn, is telling him that he needs to? Are you serious?
I never saw the second one.
Yeah, the second one, the second one is literally his mother fucking coming to him saying, a mother on a white unicorn saying, Michael, you need to go kill your sister. Yeah, literally, go look up Halloween 2 White Unicorn.
Michael Myers, White Unicorn.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. But yeah, so we'll talk about sequel opportunities at the end of the show because there's a lot of sequels coming out for slasher films next year. So let's move on to the next one. So Halloween, the reason why slashers took off was because Halloween was so successful, but always, like I said, you need a film that to come off that could be really successful too. And so in 1980, 2 years after Halloween came out, Friday the 13th was released on May 9th, 1980, and was another huge hit. It had a budget of $550,000, but it still made $60 million worldwide, which is still a huge hit. It wasn't as big, but it's still $60 million back then was huge. Yeah. It was a bigger hit than John Carpenter's The Fog, and it was a bigger hit that year than Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
What the fuck is this?
So
that's pretty crazy. Not to mention, like, not only did the first movie make a lot of money, but like I'm pretty sure a lot of the sequels did as well make a lot of money.
Yeah, the Friday the 13th is the most successful.
Not like they were all good or nothing.
Yeah.
Like at least the first and the second, or maybe like a third, were all like all right.
Yeah.
But then once it started drifting off to like,
Friday the 13th.
I loved every one of them.
Once it started drifting off to him being like fucking outer space.
Yeah, I love all of them though.
No. Friday the 13th. Here's a good rundown. The first one, good. Second one,
good. Third one, good.
Good.
Fourth one, good.
Fourth one, good.
Fifth one, I love. Those redneck fucking black humor shit, I love that shit.
And then sixth one,
good.
Started getting
sixth one was good. Jason Lives was a good film, you know. Yeah. I'd say Jason Lives was better than Freddy 6 and Halloween 6.
Well, yeah. But then you have
7 with the telekinetic powers. I thought was good.
That one was cool. Then you had
Manhattan came after that, where he went to Manhattan.
Wait, how many of these movies have they actually made?
They have 12.
I did my research.
They have 12.
Damn.
Manhattan, which was the 8th one, was alright.
Yeah.
And then
9, Jason Goes to Hell, I really enjoy.
I like that one. And then
Jason X in
my
space.
Favorite one because it's so funny and retarded.
Yeah, it's so horrible.
I love it. And then
if we're gonna act like reviewers here, we can't say that was a good movie.
Yeah, oh no, it's not. It's horrible, but I still enjoy it.
Okay, good.
I still enjoy it.
There we go. That's better.
It's some cancer, but I mean, I still enjoy it.
Freddy vs. Jason.
Exactly.
Freddy vs. Jason, I enjoyed. And the remake is my favorite slasher remake.
And the remake was an awesome remake.
Yeah, remake was great.
And good.
Yeah, but if I had to sit down and say, okay, so we'll just get through the first one. So pretty much Sean S. Cunningham, the director, they pretty much said, okay, well, we're making this children's soccer movie, which is going to be our big hit. It's going to be a big hit. But, you know, we're running out of money. We need to pay ourselves, you know, because everything's going into this soccer film. So we need to do another movie real quick so we can just keep the lights on and just make a quick buck. And so pretty much Halloween came out, huge success. So Sean S. Cunningham told Victor Miller, the writer, said, I want you to go see Halloween once a day for like 2 weeks, something like that, and I want you to rip that movie off. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly the story. He went to Halloween a couple times, and he ripped it off and said, okay, well, you're going to need a killer, and you're going to need, you know, kids in a secluded area, and, you know, you're going to need to have some jump scares, and you're going to need to have the kids, you know, when they do pot or they're about to have sex is when they're about to get killed and stuff like that. And that's really why Halloween, Friday 13th was made, was because they wanted to rip off the movie.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Little did they know it became a cult classic.
Yeah, it's not even a cult classic. I say it's a classic, though, on the level it's...
Yeah, it's true. It's a classic. But that's only because they kept making movies. If they didn't keep making movies, it would have become a cult classic.
Yeah. But so pretty much it came out, huge success. Their soccer film that they put all that money in didn't take off at all.
Weird. Why does the kid from the Halloween, the Rob Zombie Halloween remake look like such a faggot?
I don't know. It's fucking horrible. Oh my god.
It looks so stupid.
So if I had to say Friday the 13th is probably my favorite slasher franchise. I get the most enjoyment. I don't, honestly, if I had to look at it, I don't think there's an actual bad film. Like, a movie that I consider bad. As a reviewer, I think,
the worst one, in my opinion, is the Manhattan one.
Yeah, the worst one is probably Jason Goes to Manhattan, but I don't even think that one's that bad, because I still like the characters. I still like Jason when he goes to Manhattan. and I still enjoy it. But I mean, my favorite one's Part 5, which is the two rednecks. You know, go tell 'em, Ma, will you shut the fuck up, Junior? You know, that shit was fucking great. You know, and he's like, we're gonna chop you up, motherfucker.
I still need to watch like all of them.
Yeah, you need to sit down for a day or two.
My favorite one is Jason X.
Yeah, Jason X is
the one scene where they're trying to escape him and they put him in like the virtual reality thing where they have the two
girls
who are like campers, and it's like, oh my god, we can go have unprotected sex
or
and
smoke,
drugs.
Yeah, he's like, want to smoke some pot? Yeah,
being killed.
Want to smoke some, And literally, they walk in, it's these two girls, this Asian girl and this white girl, and then the Asian girl's all like, you want to drink some beer? The white girl's like, or smoke some pot, or how about what we love the most? They both take off their shirts and they have their tits out. They're all like, premarital sex. It's so great.
Seen that movie?
No.
You have to watch the Friday the 13th. The Friday the 13th films. It honestly, I could see that.
Slow, but then once it starts picking up, it really...
Question: is it? Do all the movies connect at all?
No. Well, here's how it is. Parts 1 through 8 connect perfectly. They actually do. They have the parts. Friday the 13th parts 1 through 8 have the best continuity of any slasher series. The Friday the 13th has way better continuity than Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween or Texas Chainsaw Massacre or any others. Yeah, it never did. It went from straight to 1 to 2 and then it went straight. But I mean, I just never really, like, I don't know, Friday the 13th, I just always had the most enjoyment. I mean, Friday the 13th always had the best kills. It always had the best characters. It always had, it always had the most memorable lines, I mean, fucking, I always remember from fucking part 4, the guy sitting there, he's like, the computer says you're a dead fuck. He's like, what do you mean? He's all like, you're a dead fuck. And then they're like, what are you talking about? He's like, you fucked up, you tried to go after a whore and she turned you down? It means you're a dead fuck. And then he's like, but there's no computer. Yes, and there is no whore either. Then I am a dead fuck. It was great. I love Friday the 13th, though. But I mean, I love all of them, but it's definitely my favorite.
Tyler, no, because he was talking about Nightmare on Elm Street, reminded me of something. I'm gonna send you it on Skype.
Oh God.
Okay.
Just watch it. It's funny.
But is it? Which one is it? Is it like the TV one? Here, I gotta see this.
Do you remember the cockroach?
Oh yeah, is that what it is?
Remember when she got the cockroach arms and her arms off?
Yeah.
I'm showing Tyler that.
It's so horribly great. But so pretty much Friday the 13th, it's the biggest slasher, so it's the biggest slasher of them all, the biggest slasher franchise. I definitely love this franchise. It's my favorite.
You get cockroach.
After Nightmare on Elm Street 3, it just went down the shitter.
Yeah.
Though I only care about Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 3.
It picked up again with New Nightmare, though.
New Nightmare I thought was okay. I think that one's honestly a little overhyped. Nothing really happened in that film.
It was overhyped, but it was good.
Yeah. Like the little kid come out and he's all like, hey, Freddy, the little kid. I laughed the fucking ass off at that little kid. I mean...
God, what was it? Yeah. There was another one. What the fuck is this? But there was another one where... not the Friday the 13th. It was Nightmare on Elm Street. The Freddy vs. Jason one again. That one was good. Yeah, Freddy vs.
Jason was fun. Yeah, I wouldn't honestly say it's a good movie. Like, it's fun. It's fun.
It's a fun movie,
yeah.
By far.
Definitely not like some of my favorite characters, and like definitely still like Friday the 13th has my favorite characters and stuff like that. But I do enjoy all the films of this one and the crossover between Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I can watch any of the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah, and enjoy them. Yeah,
so.
But I can't say that with all of the Halloweens or all of the even when I'm talking about all the Halloweens and Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm talking about all of them and the remake. I can't I cannot stand the Halloween remakes. I can't stand Halloween 4, 5, 6, H2O. I will say Halloween Resurrection is hilarious though. That's probably my third favorite one, is because you cannot beat Busta Rhymes fucking doing kung fu on fucking Michael Myers saying trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true.
You can't beat that, you know?
What was that?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that link in the chat of Busta Rhymes doing trick or treat, motherfucker, doing some fucking kung fu.
I've seen it.
I gotta show Tyler it though so he can watch it. That shit was great.
Yes.
No, when he was going, whoa! That was my favorite. Was when fucking.
I'm trying to find the one where the chick's head gets slammed into the TV.
Oh, ready for your prime time, bitch.
His head pops out of the top of the TV. Arms made out of wires come out, grab her, and smash her.
You ready for your prime time, bitch? Shit.
I mean, I have to say that in the second one, it was pretty crazy when Freddy started ripping out of the kids.
Oh yeah, that was
that was crazy shit, dude.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I enjoyed pretty much the Friday 13th. I like it, really enjoy it. It's pretty good. So we're gonna move on now. We're gonna do we're gonna get through the big franchises first, and then we're gonna do like individual ones that were big. So the next big franchise is Nightmare on Elm Street. Came out in 1984. Yeah. Was made by Wes Craven. And it was big for that time, but after that, though that franchise didn't really was big really after the first one.
Yeah.
Even like the first one, it was budgeted at 1.8 million.
Yeah.
It made 25 million, but if you're comparing that to either the franchises we've covered so far, like that's fucking squat piss. Like that's nothing. I mean, like, literally, let's see here. Fucking, again, Halloween, budgeted at, like, $300,000-ish and made 70 mil. Like, this is budgeted at, like 7 times that and made, like, almost a third of the amount.
Yeah.
It's just, like, it just goes to show that, like, it's kind of sad to say, but as horror movies have gone on, it seems that they get less and less credit. Because, to be fair, a lot of it is, I would say, rehashed, but it's also kind of like, I would say, they are trying hard. It's just they can't go back to, like, the classics, like It and all those other movies that were just huge for being practical and different and unique.
Yeah.
But it's like, once you got past that point, then you're just, really just, what movie has the most jump scares and blah, blah, blah. And it makes me sad because ever since Donald got me out of being a bitch about horror movies, I've actually come to like a lot of them and want to see them succeed more. Because, like, the last ones, I mean, like, for example, oh my god, for a good example of them trying to be different and was a complete fucking flop was Unfriended. They tried so hard to make some computer genre shit.
Which is not a bad idea.
The thing is, it wasn't a bad idea. It's just they fucked it
poorly
up
executed.
So bad. It was executed so bad.
Injected it with high school drama.
I know, but here's the thing. They could have done so much with it that they didn't do.
Exactly, that's the thing.
And on top of that, they could have given us much more likable characters so we actually gave a fuck about them.
I would say the best horror movie director nowadays that's like still alive and making movies consistently would be Jason Chan.
Jason Chan.
I mean, it was not Jason Chan.
You mean James Wan?
James Wan. I'm stupid. I'm thinking of a skateboarder.
I don't know. James Wan. His movies are really cliche. They're just so fucking cliche. That's what brings me down about him.
John Carpenter's still alive.
John Carpenter's making the new Halloween, so I mean...
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he says, in his quote for the new Halloween that's coming out, he says he wants to make literally the scariest movie of all time. He wants you to shit your pants.
Well, I'd say like in James
James Wan.
James Wan's
defense,
like I'd say the Insidious series was actually pretty well made. It
Yeah.
actually had good story behind it if you weren't like paying attention to like just the jump scares or whatever.
Yeah.
It actually makes you think, and I think they did a good job on that one.
I never saw it.
As of like the other movies he's made, I would agree on you for the fact that it is kind of cliche, but it's hard to not be cliche in these horror movies nowadays, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because like all that's been kind of done.
Yeah.
It's like who can make the best mixture of story and horror at the same time. And the thing is, you can't really do that with these kind of movies because they're just gonna die off.
Yeah, James Wan.
It's like they're trying to like make you care for this character that's gonna die off in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just like not be really heard of. I mean, for fuck's sake, if you haven't seen Conjuring 2,
I haven't.
the little boy and little girl, the ones that weren't like the main ones, like the one that wasn't possessed. The little boy, the one that that didn't really talk at all, he didn't say a fucking line that whole movie. I'm pretty sure. I've seen the movie twice now.
He didn't say a word.
I'm trying to think of a fucking moment where he even screamed. The fucker barely even screamed.
Yeah.
Like, that would not have happened, like, 10, 20 years ago. Like, when they actually cared about every character and made you, like, think about every character. Like, that just wouldn't fucking happen.
Yeah. James Wan, I haven't seen the Insidious films, mostly just because I just never really gave a shit to see the Insidious films. I just have no desire. Yeah, it's just, a house that's been possessed by ghosts. Honestly, if you think about it, this generation of horror films is basically summed up in that fucking sentence. A house is possessed by ghost, house is haunted by ghost or demon, and pretty much, think about it, Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Activity, fucking Insidious films, fucking The Conjuring, the Poltergeist remakes, The Apparition, tons of shitty Ouija, all those ghost films, Paranormal Activity, all are fucking ghost films because it sells.
That and because the very first movie I don't want to say the very first movie that was made that way, but the very first very, very publicized and talked about and everything was the first Paranormal Activity. Was made for literally dirt fucking cheap.
Yeah.
Like, I could shit out that movie budget on my ass. Like, and that movie made like $300 million.
Yeah.
And like, in directors' eyes, they're just money signs pop up. Because they're like, if that can be so popular, then let's just
that movie.
Do it.
Yeah, the original Paranormal Activity is very well made. I actually really enjoyed it. That's why it's so sad about the rest of the Paranormal Activity franchise is that the first film is actually a really good film. Like people are like, oh, Paranormal Activity, it's it's a shitty franchise now. It's all shit. Who cares about it? When the first one was actually a really tense, good film. I really enjoy the first one. But
it was well made.
It was pretty fucking scary.
And another thing is, like, because of the success it made, everyone was honestly just trying to copy that.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is, the reason why Paranormal was so big is because it was kind of like, how we were talking earlier about how these genres come in giant circles?
Mm-hmm.
Like talk about, for example, oh gosh, what is that movie? Not Paranormal, where the house was built on a burial ground.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist, yeah. Like, for example, like that was made a fucking long time ago.
Yeah, 1984.
It was popular because it
or 82,
wasn't really done. And
it was a time where that shit wasn't regular.
Exactly. And so, like, that was hugely popular. And it comes back around again, like, so much later, and it's popular again because, not the exact same movie, but just, like, in general, the concept of it was popular again, and everyone was just trying to fucking remake it.
Yeah, that's,
I bet $100 this new Halloween movie is going to be successful, because, guess what? When was the last really fucking good slasher film made?
Yeah,
It's fucking been a while.
Yeah.
So, they're going to try to rehash it again, and be like, okay, we're going to do something that hasn't been done in a while, and we're gonna make it good.
Yeah,
the same thing they said with, like, all of the fucking, just for example, I'll go into Call of Duty, like, how they are making the same exact game pretty much over and
Yeah.
over again. And then all of a sudden, Battlefront or Battlefield was like,
We'll make it better.
Like, we're gonna make it better, but we're gonna make it back to the original, like back to the roots. Back when it was like back talking about World War II and shit. Or
Yeah, we're gonna take it back to its original roots, but we're gonna make it better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why the new Battlefield, whatever it's called, Battlefield 1. Yeah. That's why that one's so fucking like hyped up right now, because it's back to the roots again.
Yeah, it's what people want.
It's what people want.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
Like, for example, have you like the fucking dislike ratio on
Yeah.
the new Call of Duty game is fucking shit.
Exactly.
It's literally a fucking carbon copy of the last fucking game.
Exactly. Once companies start realizing that once we get what we actually want, we'll give them fucking money. I don't know what brain cancer they have to thinking that, oh, we know what you really want, but you don't know that you want it, so we're going to give you what you want in advance. So it's just like, no, motherfucker, once you start giving us the stuff we want, we'll start giving you money and start liking you and start supporting your games. Oh, no, that never works, That, no, that never will.
That never works.
Yeah.
Since when?
Yeah, the fucking cancer that's blocking the fucking blood rushing to my brain, it's not letting me do that, It's just like fucking shit. But yeah, Ted, I just dropped in the chat. I dropped in the Halloween Resurrection in the chat where Busta Rhymes is whooping Michael Myers' ass. But so pretty much, yeah. So Nightmare on Elm Street it's good, but Nightmare on Elm Street, it's just, I don't know. I think it's okay franchise. So we'll get on probably next to really the last real big slasher franchise, which was in 1996 when slashers were dead, absolutely dead, and that was Scream in 1996. Original Scream came out. I absolutely love Scream. It's honestly, to me, it's the most well written horror film, because you take your slasher, your horror setting, and you make all your characters aware that they're in a slasher film. They're like, oh, we've seen these movies before, and we're in this fucking slasher setting. And you take this dialogue, the dialogue and the characters in that film is just, it's so great. I mean, especially in the end sequence when they're all in the kitchen, that's just great too. When fucking, my favorite line in the film is fucking, she's all like, why? Why'd you do this? And she's like, why? He's like, oh, here, that's too. I think she wants a motive. And then he's like, it's like, did it ever explain why Anthony Perkins liked to kill people? Did it ever say why Hannibal Lecter liked to eat people? Don't think so. See, Sid, it's scary when you don't have a motive. Like, that shit was so fucking mind-blowing, because it's just like, wow, we could have killers that actually, just be like, well, fuck it, just why? Well, there's never really motive. Yeah, it's a lot scarier when they don't have a motive. And that, it is true. It is scarier when there's no motive. They just do it because they want to, And then Scream also laid out the rules, like all these rules of now we think about, the big blonde with the blonde with the big tits running up the stairs, stuff like that. It's so cliche, it's all that. That didn't happen until Scream came out. Scream set up the rules and said, okay, these are the rules, these are the characters, and the killer's going to go by those rules and stuff. And I like how he got to have Sidney have sex with him. So we're like, oh, you broke the rule. You're not a virgin anymore. You're going to die. Which it was just very interesting, very original plot. I really loved Sidney Neve Campbell. She's my favorite protagonist. She's my favorite final girl. I just feel like in a fight against a killer, I just feel like she's the best out of all of them. I felt like her and Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. Nancy, I don't know why, it's just like, I feel like if Sidney was in that situation, she wouldn't have gone up to fucking Freddy and that she would have gotten stabbed. I just feel like that was totally out of her character in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, where she's like, oh, Dad, and she just got stabbed. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I never thought this character would be that stupid, but then again, it's whatever. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was good. The second one I think is okay. The second Scream 3 I really enjoy. Then Scream 4 is just fucking horrible with those two little anorexic fucks running around saying that you're telling me those two 90-pound fucking long hair fucking hippie motherfuckers were killing everybody? You could fuck off.
They weren't even as tall as some of the.
Yeah.
At least in the first movie, they were strong enough to like tackle football players and actually be like manhandle people.
Yeah.
Like oh, he has a knife, which means he's gonna definitely kill me. That's not how it works. If you're just because you're holding a knife doesn't necessarily make you like able to kill everybody. Like
Yeah.
you have to have some.
I win.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter. Oh, you stabbed me in the gut. Well, it was too weak to break the skin.
Mhm.
And I just
Yeah.
fucking slam you in the head. Like, you know, it's game
Yeah.
over now.
Yeah. But
It made
yeah.
sense.
Scream, yeah, but Scream also felt like, okay, if if a person or people, you know, like two people snapped, you know, and they said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I feel like that would happen. Like I could feel like that thing would actually happen in our town. If that thing would actually happen, it would play out like that, you know. Just two people that are like, oh, you know, we loved horror movies, and you know, we decided to make our own real life horror movie and be the survivors at the end and act like the good guys. I love it how the end, you know, fucking they're just all like, fuck it, you know, oh Stu, why'd you fucking decide to do it? Oh, I'm far too sensitive, peer pressure, you know, because like, you know, they just didn't give a fuck, which was pretty creepy.
I think one of the other major reasons that Scream was a success was that it was too fucking real.
Yeah, it was real.
When you really got down to the ideas of the movie and all of the stuff that
could happen.
It's too fucking real.
Like that opening scene, you know, they add a little bit of comedy in there, but if you actually think about it, that opening scene with Drew Barrymore is actually pretty terrifying. Like a girl just getting tormented, you know, she's getting tormented watching her boyfriend die, and you know, like, oh, you know, we're putting his life in your hands, you know, like you have to answer the question, you know, like it's your responsibility if he lives and shit like that she just got gutted and hung up on a tree, you know, that opening scenes is actually really terrifying.
Yeah, the whole movie was like really just real.
Yeah, I feel like if they didn't add the comedic elements, like it just would have been too fucking terrifying.
It's too dark.
Yeah, because that's the thing, like, you know, like that shit happens. People go crazy and you know, they invade homes and they kill people. That shit actually happens. Like they add to the comedy because that shit is actually really creepy.
They have to. You have to have comic relief, or else it's just whoa.
Yeah, it's like this is
made me paranoid about my life.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people, like if you live in a good neighborhood or if you think you know the people around you, they don't honestly care as much to lock their doors. Like that's just a true fact. Like, Like for example. Like, I'll leave my house sometimes, and I might forget about it, but like, just because I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, if I lived in Stockton, I guarantee you, there'd be no fucking way I'd leave my house without remembering to lock the fucking door.
Yeah,
or, like,
fuck
take
that.
precautions.
Fuck that.
Like, you know, it's like, in their standpoint, almost everybody knows each other. It's not school. Like, they have a big friend group.
They literally live in, like, a neighborhood where it's a house, and then it's, like...
Yeah.
Half a mile in another house.
And that's where Scream and Halloween really bring it to home, was that, you know, fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, you have to go to bed to, you know, go beat the killer, and, you know, Friday the 13th, you have to go into the woods, or, you know, you have to go to the carnival or someplace, you know, or like someplace, you know, or to the creepy hospital or the haunted mansion, you know, shit like that. The thing about Scream and Halloween is that they both brought the terror and put it in your house. They put it in your backyard, you know. It's not some ghost in your house or anything like that, you know. It's an actual person. It's people who are just evil trying to go after you and kill you, which is creepy if you think about it.
It is.
But Scream, I enjoyed the series. The first one is just, it's amazing. I totally think it was robbed of an Oscar that year for best writing, for best original screenplay. I just think it's wonderfully written. It's so great and wonderfully written, wonderfully directed is what I mean. But Wes Craven that's my favorite Wes Craven film. I think it's much more visually. I think it's, I don't know, it's just, it seems like Wes Craven had more energy to do the Scream films more than he did the Nightmare on Elm Street movies that he did.
Yeah.
But
as well, especially since like the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie was the best one.
Yeah, I like it. I wouldn't say overhyped, it's just I don't really like care for it as much as people do. I do like it, but you know, I do think that Scream is his best film.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking that end scene's great.
That end scene's better than anything.
Yeah.
What I also like, what I like about it is like they're making fun of the fact of how every other movie, like the reasons why every other movie flopped, like before it, because there was a big decline before this movie. Like the thing was, they're making fun of the fact of, oh, there's a dumb blonde, and all these other things that people would see in the older, like in the other horror movies, like the other slasher movies, and they'd be like, wow, this is just stupid. Yeah. Someone should make fun of this, or somebody should actually, like, just fucking do this right. And they did it. They just did it right. They really just did it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing I was talking about before. Like the waves didn't exist back in like the 50s. But then it started up with that one movie, and then Psycho made the franchise really popular. Yeah. And then after that, it was just kind of like at a mediocre thing for a while.
Slashers,
no one thought it would go off.
By the year 1988, 1989 is when they really started dying off.
Yeah. And it started rising more in the 70s and the 80s, and then it just started dying.
Yeah.
Dying, and then it got revamped
in '96.
It got redone.
Yeah,
basically.
They brought it back. And then after that, you had tons of horror films. Horror films, just not just slasher horror in general. You know, after that, you had I Know What You Did Last Summer 1 and 2. You had Valentine. You had Urban Legends. You had The Faculty. You had Scream sequels. You just had tons of horror movies coming out after that because everybody wanted to capitalize on the success of Scream. Which some, like, you know, like, it's films like The Faculty, like, you know, but thank God for Scream because, you know, like, The Faculty is, like, a great fucking film. Like, for me, that's why I love it, you know, and I'm glad that, you know, even if it wasn't successful, that it at least got made. Because the funny thing about The Faculty is that they're trying to sell it, so the same studio made Scream and The Faculty, but they tried to sell that movie to the studio for, like, since 1993, and they're all like, they just didn't get no success, and then they're going around different studios, and then right after Scream came out, they're like, okay, we'll do it. So, I mean, which was good. So, I mean, it got some other films to get made, which is cool. And I don't know, just Scream, like, you know, it's definitely, I think it's a lot, I think it's definitely better than any, I think it's better than any of the Friday the 13th. I think it's better made, I think it's better scored, I think it has better characters and better scenes than any of the Friday the 13th. Any of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, any of the Leatherfaces, any of the Chuckies, and Halloween's, I do think the original one is just as good, though, because the original Halloween can be actually really terrifying. But
yeah,
I don't know, just Scream, I think it's so great. I mean, and then if we look back, you know, horror really was dead, because in 1988 and 1989, you had, those 2 years really killed off, because you think about it, you had Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Goes to Manhattan. Then you had Halloween 5, which is fucking horrible. The Revenge of Michael Myers. And you had A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, which is fucking horrible. So you had those 3 movies, and then there was something else that came out that was just really bad. So you had like those 3 or 4 movies that just came out after each other. I think in like 1989 was the year where it was just like, oh my god, shit film, shit film, shit film, shit film. It was just like, okay, that's it. They all bombed, all 4 of them. So it's just like, fuck it, we're not gonna make them anymore.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
And then
it's making me think honestly about like all this talking about movies and why they succeed and like everything like that. It comes down to, I think, how much a movie can make you think.
Yeah.
And how much a movie can make you care for the character.
Yeah. How relatable. Yeah.
Like movies that you think but movies that succeed generally will have a combination of the two. They'll make you think either that, or the characters are just amazing.
Yeah.
And it comes down to like how much time and effort you actually put into the characters. Yeah. And instead of like the jump scares and everything else, because that's honestly not what you come to see. Like when you talk to a person about a horror movie, I guarantee you none of them will say, I come to get the shits like fucking. I mean, maybe
some people do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that, but they don't normally just be like, oh yeah, I come only for jump scares. Like,
yeah, no,
they want to come for character development. They want to come to see these people live in a certain universe where shit like this happens. You know, like they make you want to just, gosh, they just. They try to make it good. They just try to
that's the thing. Yeah, you need to have characters that you can relate to, or you're not going to be fully immersed into the film.
Yeah.
Which is, that's why if you like my favorite horror films, or just favorite films in general, it's like, the biggest thing for me is writing and characters. Without good dialogue that keeps you invested, like the movie about Facebook, The Social Network. It's a movie about fucking Facebook, but it's amazing. It's great because the movie's written excellently. I remember when Donald came over to my house and I said, okay, I'm going to show you, the movie about Facebook. He's like, oh, okay. Then after, he was like, oh, it was pretty good because it's actually really well written.
Yeah, it's not because it was about Facebook.
Yeah, it was a great written, and the characters were good. But my favorite horror films, if we look right now, Scream has great characters. I mean, according to me, they're all relatable, realistic. The Faculty has great characters too that are really relatable and really realistic too. Like The Faculty was like, okay, these are really how high school characters are. If we look at Halloween has some realistic characters, like, that's how girls would be acting, walking down the street. They have literally just a 5-minute scene where the girls are just steady shot, one shot, where there's just them going down, walking. They're just talking about high school. Like, that's exactly how they would be and acting like. But, it's just, that's how it is, My movie, it's just, honestly, I do love visuals, I do love, who the fuck it is? The guy who made Seven. I forgot his name is, and he made Gone Girl. He makes some really visually good movies.
Seven was a pretty trippy movie.
Yeah,
though.
Seven, but he's visually really. This guy, I need to figure out who made the film. David Fincher. He's the one who made the Facebook movie, The Social Network. He made Gone Girl, Zodiac, but he makes those movies look visually really good with its dark green tint. I love movies that visually look well, not really necessarily visual effects, just more like the cinematography and the look of the lenses and stuff like that, and how you could really do shadows and lights. But I would sacrifice all of that for relatable characters in a well-written film, which is what I really look for. But that's just me.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Because nowadays it's just fucking shit.
Yeah, it's just how much can we horror movies now? Just okay, how much can we do jump scares in there so people will jump and then people will go tell their friends, oh my god, it was so scary, I jumped so many times. Okay, sure, it had some jump scares, but where's the character development? Yeah.
The biggest thing is, where's the rewatchability?
Yeah.
There is none. There fucking is. Okay, yeah, I got jump scared, but now I know it's coming, so it's not scary all of a sudden. And it's guess what? Now that's just one person down that is never going to come back to watch a movie again unless they're forced to watch it by one of their friends or something else. It's that's not what it should be about. Honestly, good movies that are made, you'll watch it later and realize things you didn't realize the first time around.
Yeah, exactly.
You actually want to rewatch it and be like, oh damn, this actually happened, or this person said that, I didn't even know. It makes you understand the franchise and the universe that they're in and everything else. It just kind of helps you link together everything.
See, here's the thing: if whenever anyone has asked me, "Oh, how was a movie?" I have never started it out with, "Oh, the scares were really good." I mean, maybe I have, but if I did, I'd always follow it up with, but the rest of the movie was shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. One area of being great. That's my problem with. So a little sports thing here, guys. So that's my problem with just anything in general. When something does something great, but the rest of it is just mediocre. Like Stephen Curry for the Golden State Warriors. All he could do, he could shoot great, amazing. He's probably the greatest shooter of all time. But what else can he do? Can he defend great? Can he assist great? Can he actually, it's just, can he rebound great? Can he do anything else great besides shoot the ball? And the answer is no, he can't. And that's why I think he's an overrated player. There's other players like Russell Westbrook, though. He of course he can't shoot a three-pointer as good as Stephen Curry, though. But you know what? He can score really great. He can rebound. He can pass the ball better. He can defend better. He could do everything. He could do everything pretty much better than Stephen Curry, but shoot. But since Stephen Curry's great at that, he's pretty much Russ Westbrook's overlooked because Stephen Curry is great, which I think is bullshit. I don't think that Like the Evil Dead remake. The only thing that I could say the movie has really great in it is the gore, but that doesn't save a film. The Evil Dead remake.
These movies nowadays will have only one leg to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
They don't got character development. They don't got, good scenery necessarily. They don't have, they're all relying off of jump scares, or just like that's just in horror movies in general. It seems like they don't have anything else besides jump scares. They're all it takes is one soft blow and they're falling over. Like they don't have anything to to fucking defend against.
Yeah.
They know it's true.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, if you talk to any of the directors or something, they probably would agree with you on the fact of, we could have done better.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, they did that because they just wanted money. They just wanted to fucking...
Yeah, a lot of directors who do that,
anything else besides fucking money.
Yeah, well, I lost say a lot of them, some of them are money, but a lot of them, they say, a lot of them, they interview years after they made the movie, and they're all like, well, why did you make that horror movie back then, when you were, as your first film? Why'd you choose that? He's like, I didn't have a choice. They said, you could continue to make fucking music videos for people, or you could do this horror film for us and get your name out there. So it's all like, well, what are you going to pick? Are you going to keep doing fucking music videos, or are you going to do TV, or are you going to actually go out there and do a full-fledged film? So it's just all like, well, fuck, I mean, what are you going to do?
Some people are literally forced.
They're hand-tied, yeah, so I mean, it's all like, and then the ones that are successful, like, It Follows was independently made, but I mean, fuck, I mean, it's not really that. If I think about a film that really, took off, not really. I think Sinister was one of them. It was like MTV Director. That's one of the instances where
first Sinister fucking exploded because it was, for one, it was just, I'd say, pretty fucking well made, and also it had character development too. Like, you might not have thought that at first, but it actually had pretty good character.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Like,
it also has rewatchability.
Yeah,
that's true. Because
there's a lot of stuff that if you really want to go through and see everything about it, you have to watch it again.
To be fair, there'll be scenes it's kind of like one of those things where you're watching a horror movie and you didn't realize the picture in the background was slightly tilted.
Yeah.
Say they were doing jump backs to where a character's standing there, and there's nothing bad in the background.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it jumps back to her, and a painting is slightly tilted to left or right. And it's little things like that to let you know, this place obviously isn't all together. It's, it's for people that actually have a good eye.
It takes some time.
See that shit. It makes you want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
And it's what did I miss? Why is this scene so scary? And then you realized, oh shit, I didn't even notice that at all. And it's pretty cool to think about it too. A lot of movies have that. I'm trying to think. I think in the first Sinister they did that, where they were showing a bunch of pictures of houses or furniture, and they were showing what's fucked up in this image. Essentially, what about this image is scary? And it's up to you to figure that out. Why is this image scary? Oh, I see. Because of the giant fucking thing that's altered with it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It lets you think.
Yeah, Sinister was good. I would say it's not my most rewatchable horror film of the decade. Mine, I think you two know. It's just It Follows. I honestly think that It Follows is honestly the most rewatchable film of the decade for horror films. It's such deep of a film, with all the mythology you could actually get into to think about what it is and go into it, and also the camera work. And about every shot you could find it in it if you actually look really hard. Which is, it's insane to think about, they just always put seeds, and then also I figured out, always before they show it to, she sees it or it appears, you always see red in the film, no matter what. There's something, a red light, or someone's wearing a red t-shirt or something like that. Red is shown, which is insane. I didn't find that out until the last time I watched it. But you could figure stuff out like that. Yeah, if you go ahead and watch it again, someone's wearing red, or red is present in the shot. The shot before it is shown, there's always something red. Someone wearing it, a red light, something red wall, red something. It's always something red. It's just like, how do you figure that stuff? Like, that's so rewatchability, and I mean, and it follows. It's the most original horror film of the decade by far. Which is why it's my favorite.
What makes it so popular is the fact that things are so unexplained that it makes people crave to the unknown.
A reason,
You want a reason of why it's happening, and then I bet somewhere out there, if you pay enough attention to the movie, the answer's right in front of you. But you have to go out of your way and you have to watch it at least 3 or 4 or 5 times before you realize it. Like, I'm not going to say it's one of my favorite movies only because I personally think it could have been different for some things, but that's the reason why I don't like it too much. But otherwise, like, on the fact of it makes you think, I give it 100%. Like, that it fucking does. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I love the way,
Despite all the things I don't like about some of it, like, the things that I didn't like, I had no idea why I didn't like it, because there was so much unexplained about it that I don't even know if it's deeper than I am. Like, I don't know why I don't like it. I just feel like I don't like it.
That's the thing. A lot of people said, it wasn't really, they needed to explain some things. I'm just like, well, no, they really didn't. I mean, if you think about it, there's a whole bunch of messages like what the movie is really signaling. A lot of people say, it's AIDS and stuff like that, and people going out there getting AIDS. That's the thing why I think it's so great, is because there's so many people who think that the movie means a whole bunch of different things, like people saying, it's a piece about AIDS, it's a social commentary on AIDS and how
it's just about STDs.
Yeah, about STDs and AIDS and stuff like that. And then I said, and I really think, I think it's really about, people coming into adulthood, how she's really, sex is really considered in our, society a really first sign of being an adult, because it's an adult decision. And how, like, if you think about it, right in the movie, she has sex with the guy, then right after that, he chloroforms her and brings her up and then throws her down. That's kind of like when he, like, kidnaps her. It's kind of like, life, she's sex is her embracing that she wants to become an adult, and then him kidnapping her is really like, life has really hit you, life hits you hard when you're adult. And, he's just throwing everything out. Okay, there's this thing, it doesn't think, it doesn't eat, it doesn't sleep, it just walks, it's always going to come after you. I think that him just throwing all that stuff at her is really just life hitting you at the face, and just, that's what really happens in life, though,
That movie is like a longer version of the ending to Krampus.
Yeah.
Where there's so many possible things that it could be.
Yeah.
And ending, it makes you think.
It's just like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what it means. I really want to know what it means, and I think I know what it means, but then you hear all these other people's different opinions on it, and it's just a lot of stuff.
I love I love endings like that, which is, with people like endings that are open, but I think when a movie is pretty much all open to interpretation, I think that's when some people fall out, because they're like, okay, I need a little bit more than just the groundwork where we fill it in, but I honestly love that. I love the ending to it follows, where it shows the person in the background. It's just like, okay, is that the thing or is it not, And I mean, I also thought the characters were really well.
I did like was the ending.
Yeah, the ending
was pretty good.
I thought the characters were real too. Yeah.
That's true. Like character-wise and ending-wise, I honestly think it was really, really well done.
Yeah.
The only questions I had about it were like the scene with her like walking up to those guys on the boat and
did she fuck him?
Oh yeah. I figured that out too. What happened?
What?
So it didn't.
So wet in the shit.
Yeah, it didn't, because remember how she what was it? Oh, what the fuck? I forgot what it's called. But remember how like she has the shirt, she has the white shirt that she takes off, and then she goes in with her pink bra on. That shirt's wet too, though. So it's just like, so they're having, so it's pretty much like, you know, so it's pretty much like, okay, then she did go have sex with those guys, because it does take a long time for it to come back, you know. And so because think about it, you know, for her that top shirt, the white shirt, to get red, you know, if she just stopped right there and then turned back, you know, she wouldn't have been completely wet. But, you know, since she's wet, and, you know, the white shirt is wet too, completely soaked, and she goes back and, you know, takes a little bit of time for it to come back, you know, so it means pretty much, yeah, she had sex with those guys.
No, she definitely did.
Yeah.
Like, that's, when I first saw that scene, my
I had no doubt about it, yeah.
I had no doubt about it. I'm just
also,
like, yeah,
I was also wondering about, like, the random thing when they're backing out of the house, and they just see, like,
it's on the roof.
the naked guy on the house.
Oh, that's it, yeah. That's it.
And also, like, I feel like it, like, you know what I wish they did more of in that movie?
What?
Was make it less fucking predictable.
Oh yeah, like,
as a person.
Yeah, like it have it. You know how like it. That's one problem I can see, but you know, just because I love the movie so much, I kind of gloss over. Is yeah, it is pretty fucking stupid. I mean, you see it in plain daylight. You know, it's either some old man with his cock hanging out, or some girl pissing herself, or some 7 foot tall motherfucker. You know. No, it's true. It's yeah.
Make it so unpredictable, like it was when she's like her friend's knocking on the door, and it's like, it's just me. It's like, okay, she opens the door to 7 foot tall.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, so I can see why it's all like, oh, you know, it is kind of predictable, but you know. That I see that as a small problem, but you know he is pretty fucking stupid for hiding himself as like some 7'8" tall motherfucker, or some girl pissing herself,
it's trying to strike fear.
Or some old granny in her nightgown.
In the movie The Thing, when you're always like,
you never knew.
Job of hiding who or what the thing was,
or even the faculty,
you know? Yeah, that too. Like it did
it hit it
job in hiding it, and that's what I think. It Follows should have done. They should have made it to where it was literally as it, like, because as when the guy was explaining to you about what it was, he was like, it could be people you love, your friends, like anybody, fucking anybody, and I understand that.
Yeah,
and I understand it being like maybe a really obvious person once or twice, just to get the crowd thinking like, okay, obviously that's it, you know, like. I know that's it, so now I don't have to be as afraid of it.
Yeah, but what?
Like, they should have done that.
Like, that's the other thing. Like, when he's like, it can be anyone you know, it can be anyone you know, it can be your friends, it can be your loved ones, it can be anyone. And it's just like, okay, so why wasn't it her loved ones a lot more?
Yeah, it was kind of
except for the last one.
Or if you think about, like, it says, like, oh, it doesn't... You think about, oh, how it doesn't think or anything, all it does is walk. Well, at the end, when she's in the pool, why does it pick up stuff and throw it at her? Like, that doesn't make sense if all it does is just walk. Yeah, well, how would it know? Well, it was like the dad and stuff, you know. Wouldn't she? Why would she dress up as the dad if she knows that the dad's fucking dead? I guess, you know, to be like, oh, dad, you know, just like,
honestly, if you take the thing from It Follows, I think it changes into stuff and does all that weird shit. It does it more to strike fear. I don't think it does it to try and hide itself. I think it does it to strike fear. It doesn't need to hide itself. No one else can see it. Really think about it. And so I think it does it just to hide fear.
Yeah, it's still a crazy idea.
Now think about it. I do agree with you on that, Donald. Like, I guess if you were taking it from a standpoint of, okay, I am that person now, and I'm seeing all this weird, fucked up shit. I do not like it. It's trying to strike. I see it's trying to strike fear into it, but from like as a perspective of me watching it and me knowing, okay, that's it. It kind of like takes away from me. For example, like they're not. I would feel like they're not trying to stretch out as much to the audience as they are to the character itself. Because, like. In my standpoint, I thought it wasn't scary at all. Like the person that it wasn't scary at all.
Oh no, it wasn't no jump scares or anything.
I mean, I understand it wasn't supposed to be like even if it wasn't a jump scare, like even if it was something that was subtle, like it was like again more of her friends, more of her family, more of things that it would have been. Not only would it have been, I think, better for that standpoint. It would have still been scary. Like I'm not gonna lie, it would have still been
Yeah, I still think the film is pretty creepy. Like, just the thought of something just chasing you or following you, it's just creepy in general.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I think probably the one time that where you really didn't know that it was it when it came was when they're all sitting in the lawn chairs and stuff on the beach.
Oh, that's the
girl walk behind them. You don't even know
that's the thing. Yeah,
they should have done that more fucking often. I feel like.
They did that. They did that a lot though with the like throughout the film. There is a lot of things, but then the thing is, a lot of people say, oh well, he's really noticeable. But if you see the film a couple more times, that's only a couple scenes really noticeable. There's a lot of scenes. Like I said, if you really look for the red, like there's a scene where they're sitting at a diner, and the booth chairs are red that they're sitting on, and in the background you see someone just walking towards them, but you don't even notice it. Yeah.
Were good.
So that's the thing. When you don't,
really good.
When you,
actually, I just realized this might be an issue. You know how it is just supposed to constantly follow him no matter what?
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the movie, the guy's on a date with her, and they're in the movie theater.
Standing at the door,
and says, "Do you see that girl?"
At the door, yeah.
No. Well, wouldn't it just follow him to that seat?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
That's the only real issue I have.
Unless you're thinking, unless you say,
it comes down to what is the objective of it. Because, like, for example, if it was more subtle, I guarantee you it could get closer to the person. Like, if it was the person's best friend, I wouldn't notice as much to run away.
Yeah.
Because, like, it comes down to, is the objective of it to strike fear, or is it to kill the person?
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, okay, remember when that one guy got killed by his mom? Like, no shit, it got killed by its mom because it was his fucking mom. He had no clue it was his mom. Yeah. It got so close to him that it fucking sucked the life out of his dick or something.
Yeah, it had sex. I don't know what
it did.
It killed him. It did
it sucked the life out of him. Yeah.
Like, okay, like, if that's the objective of it, it should have done that more often. It should have realized, okay, I'm being stupid by doing this.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I'm some fat naked guy on top of a roof, it's obviously fucking it.
Yeah.
No shit.
That's the thing,
It seems like that I felt, that was the reason why that's the reason why I didn't like it. Otherwise, it was good.
Yeah, that's the thing, There's a couple,
It's trying to strike fear more.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't do all that.
It feeds off your fear or something,
to get to you.
But that's the thing, like... that's the thing, like, it's I think, like, it tries to strike fear in you and then feeds off your fear and stuff like that, but the thing is, like, there's a couple things that are, like, wrong, that we think are wrong with the film, but the thing is, there's just so much good with it, like the cinematography, and we'd even bring up the music to the film. The music to the film is my favorite score of any horror film in this whole decade. I think the music is so great. By Disaster Piece. It's just, it's so great. Yeah. And then, but the problem is, like, and then you're thinking, like, oh, okay, if you keep going, okay, you see that girl in the yellow dress standing at the door. Do you see her? She's like, what yellow dress? The door standing there. It's just all like, okay, well, that would make sense if you say, okay, it's thinking, oh, I can't attack this person in broad daylight, or the whole bunch of people would know that we have this whole crisis. But the thing is, if he did fuck him right there and then killed him, then you'd be like, okay, well, maybe it's thinking, okay, well, I can't go do that because everybody else is gonna know. But later in the film, when he captures her, it's clearly stated that it doesn't think, it doesn't think, it doesn't eat, it doesn't sleep. All it knows is just follows, and then it's just like, okay, well, then you kind of, why is it standing at the door? Why is it standing at the door then? Waiting. I mean, but then again,
right at the beginning of the movie, on the beach.
At the beach, but then again, the cinematography is so great where it's doing the 360 showing all around, and you're like, oh, who's this, who's it, Yeah, the cinematography and the camera work's great, the score's great, I think the acting is great, I do think the idea is great, I do think the look of the film, like, the art direction and the different colors look really good. There's just, like, a thing, like, one or two things that really, like, would bother me, but I think I could totally forgive it because I think the movie is definitely better than most horror films that come out in the past 15 years.
I can agree wholeheartedly with the fact that it's better than most.
Yeah.
Because nowadays it's just it's so fucking rehashed.
Yeah.
That it's just not. It's just not good anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that movie was different.
Yeah.
I guarantee
Yeah.
you, within the last 20 years or 10 years, you're not going to find a movie similar to it,
Yeah.
really. Like,
Yeah.
and the scenes, I think the issue I had with it is the scenes that were scary were the scenes that it was actually walking towards them.
Yeah.
The scenes where it was just standing there was like, isn't it supposed to walk towards you?
Yeah.
Like, even the scene with the fat guy, I would have gave that scene more credit if the fat guy was like, if it was like stumbling its way down the road.
Yeah, why is it standing? True, yeah, true. If it all it does is follows, then why did it stay
That would
there?
have been fucking sick. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would have made that scene like way better. If it was like stumbling down the roof trying to get them,
and then it falls off of the roof at the last second before they drive away.
and then like slowly starts to get up as they drive away. Like, that would have been fucking good.
That is true. But then again, I can't blame. They only had like $1 million or $2 million for the budget, which is pretty much nothing. They have to pay the actors, all the crew, and everything, and so I mean, you could have done more. Yeah.
What? $300-400 on a guy falling off a roof stunt?
Well, then again, you have to think about the visual effects, and you have to think about, as a person, if we're going to do the stunt, will it be okay? You have to hire a stunt double, and you have to do all this stuff. Then you have to add in all the textures and stuff for the blood, and also if you think about it, if they get hurt, they're not going to have enough money to compensate for the person.
I'm not saying that you have him fall off the roof and they show it hit the ground. I'm saying you show
her reaction and then see it get up.
No, you show it from a distance. You show him falling off.
Yeah.
Or I
don't
think
show him hitting the ground or anything.
Even if they just showed him stumbling towards them, it would have been scary. Like, even if he didn't fall off yet, but he was just like stumbling towards them, that would have been equally scary.
Yeah, or like it's her coming. It's like him walking, and then by the edge you just see him fall forward, and then she just turns around and they just drive off. Because it's all like, oh shit, this person's not, fucking around. Or it's like,
if you ask anybody about like what scares you about that movie, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's coming towards you the whole time."
It's just it's nonstop following you, which is creepy. I do think
is the point of the movie.
It's the creepiest thing about that's why I think it's also the creepiest movie of the decade for me, because it's just something following you, always something watching you. It's just fucking creepy as fuck.
That concept is creepy as.
Yeah, I don't like someone watching you all the time.
Yeah, it deserves the credit it gets.
It's definitely going to be on my... I could see another film definitely taking its place for Best Horror Film Decade. It's definitely going to be on my top 5, though, for the decade, though. It's just... I thought it was pure excellence in horror. But I also thought The Babadook was really good, but I think the little kid was just a little bit too annoying for me.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit. That movie fucking... Like, I saw the opener for it, and I didn't really start getting interested into it until about, I would say, 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
The kid was so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And, like, the wife and, like, everybody, like the mom was just fucking
Didn't discipline him and shit.
annoying.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the thing is also about It Follows is, like, the movie instantly fucking hooks you with the girl running out the door and the music going, and it's fucking, you're like, what is she running from? Like, the movie instantly, it just starts. It doesn't have no build-up. It's just, okay, here we are, this is what we're doing, and this is how it's gonna go. Which is what I really enjoyed about the beginning to It Follows. It's just like, okay, it just starts. It's not, oh, okay, we're introduced to this girl and her friends. It's just, no. It literally opens up, shot of a house, girl runs out, music's blaring, it does 360 of her running around, goes back into the house, comes out, and then drives away. It's like, damn, that's a way to end, that's a way to start a film.
Yeah. It's a good way to start a film, and then she's just sitting on the beach, like crying, and just like
she's just accepting it.
About that opening scene was, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Like the way they filmed it, understandably, it's a little bit random when you first see it, but like it's part of the movie. It's supposed to be random. It's supposed to be like kind of weird, kind of like what's going on right now. Like it's trying to make you think, which is I think huge. Movies nowadays, the audience
Yeah.
would be fucking brain dead retarded,
Yeah.
and they'd still like it because they don't have to think.
Yeah, but what?
in these
Yeah.
movies, like, you have to think.
Yeah. Watch that movie again, though, and then look at her when she's on the beach talking to her dad, calling her on the phone. Look at how the way her car's pointed, you know how, like, the lights are on, the front of the car's pointing to her, so she's has the light. And then, don't you see, though, when it's kind of like, when she goes back to the forest and supposedly it's coming towards her, her back lights are red, and, it's pointing to the back, it's red, signalizing that it's coming. So, it starts off from the beginning of the film, signalizing that red is the color that it's coming,
Yeah.
It's pretty prevalent.
I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think I watched it.
I watched it twice.
I watched it at least twice.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many other times. Yeah.
It's a good film, though. I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna end the podcast right now. But thanks for watching, guys. We pretty much did our slasher films, and then we went off
from slashers
to It Follows.
It Follows for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes about talking about it and stuff. But then again, that's the thing. We just spend 30 minutes on It Follows. You could literally sit for hours and talk about that film.
Oh yeah,
that's true. Despite even people that dislike it or like it, they can talk about it. Because one of the things about this movie is, I would say a solid 60% of it is unknown to you.
Yeah.
60% of it is just you asking questions why is this happening? Why is he running? Is he that person? Why?
Yeah.
Who is that person? Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. There's just so many questions of what you can ask.
Yeah.
And, despite if you like it or you don't like it, you're still talking about it.
Yeah.
And in the words of a lot of people, there is no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could talk about something negatively and it won't matter. People will still watch it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it makes you think like a motherfucker. And in terms of sequels, I do not want to see a sequel at all. And especially the idea that they want to do. They want to have Jay and Paul, the couple. They want them to basically go down the list of people who had it, and they want to discover the origin. I'm just no, that will ruin the first one.
Please don't.
That will absolutely butcher the first film. It will ruin it. I mean, it's just even though some people complained that it just didn't have enough explained. That's the thing. If you over-explain it, that's the thing. I think It Follows was explained enough, but if you over-explain it, it's just gonna fucking kill it.
Yep.
That's why if the sequel comes out, I will avoid it at all costs. I don't care if people hail it as the greatest thing since Jesus Christ. I do not care. I will not see it.
I agree completely with fucking that.
Yeah, unless they do a different approach to it.
If it's what everybody wasn't complaining about, if it was everything that the first movie did wrong,
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you it would be a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
The movie itself was amazing. The concept was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about it was amazing. Besides very key things
things here and there as well.
Yeah.
I would say the things that were mostly the reason why people didn't like it as much. It wouldn't matter as much if it was just small things. But
Mm-hmm.
the really big thing I thought is the thing that's supposed to be scary.
It's a little dumb.
That it was a little dumb, and that's
retarded.
It'd be like if you're watching a movie for only half the concept.
Yeah.
You're watching a movie for only the character development. You're not watching it for anything after that. Otherwise, it's really, really good. I'll just give it to you. It's really
there's a few little things about the movie that I think they could have done a little bit better. Just little things here and there on certain scenes. Again, with the stumbling on the roof thing. And just a few little things.
It definitely causes great tension, though, the film. Oh shit, where the fuck is that motherfucker, But, a lot of people said the film was boring. I just think those are, fucking dumb, honestly, those are, teenagers. And when I talk about teenagers, I'm talking about, the 14, 15-year-olds, who are thinking, where's the fucking ghost? Where's the titties? Where's the drugs? Man? It's exactly what it is. Where's the titties? I want some fucking titties.
I'm not gonna lie, you get titties in that movie.
You get some fucking nasty pee-pee titties all over the place and shit.
You can't have those preteen titties.
Mm-hmm.
Can't, because even though that's what the movie kind of is. I mean, they're not preteens, but they're teenagers.
It makes you want it, to be honest.
There's so much teenage sex in that movie.
Hey man, she's 19.
Yeah, the movie though. But then again, if you look at it, if you look at it in the movie, though, the picture, like, the thing that's great about It Follows, too, is that you look through it, there's a whole bunch of pictures all over the place and stuff like that, and a lot of them you get to see are a lot of different people. Like, you know, the old guy who's on top of the roof is her grandfather in the picture that you see earlier into the film, and then you get to see her grandmother. Yeah.
The pool is his dad.
Yeah, and then you get to find out that the girl who was in the beginning of the film, she's also in the film in a scene. I think it's by the lake house after she runs out of the lake house. She's the one following her, which it goes together perfectly. I think it's great. I think it builds tension. I think it's visually beautiful. I think camera work is great. I think everything about the film is perfect except it. It can bring it down but very minorly for me. Like, I don't think it takes me out of the movie at all, you know? Like, you could sit there and be like, oh, why is this, why is that? But, I mean, the movie's just so immersive and so, like, it just feels real. Like, you know, if that happened, I'd be like, fuck me, man. You know, it's just, like, it's just death.
I give it that. Like, with the characters, when they were, like, freaking out in the room talking about it and just, like all these things that you would actually do if you were like, I mean, this was happening. You'd just be freaking out. You'd be trying to watch movies. You're trying to get your head off of it. You're trying to get your mind off of it. It was everything up into that like teenager wise or character wise was fucking just perfect. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was perfect.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the kids are like the kids, you know, they're people our age, you know, they're 18, 19, 20 years old, you know. This is how we would react, you know, if someone of our friends were doing that like that, you know. We'd be like, okay, then where are we gonna go? We're gonna fucking protect you and shit like that, you know. I feel like that's how we would be in a situation like that.
Because, like, in that one kid's, like, standpoint, I bet he didn't believe her at first. That's why he accepted it. If he knew for a shadow of a doubt that there was someone about to kill her ass, I don't think he'd be as manly to just be like, yeah, don't worry, I'll stay up all night and, like, protect you.
No.
Like, I guarantee you, he would have been fucking like, I'm good, or he would have been like, Like, he wouldn't be able to talk. Like, he was doing the manly, like, protector thing.
Yeah.
He's trying to impress her.
He just wants to fuck her. Like,
I think he just wanted some fucking vag, and then fucking the fucking, and then the geeky guy, the geeky guy, you know, I think the geeky guy, he's fucking, he just wanted, I think, honestly, I don't think that he is really a great guy, I just think he wanted some vag too, you know, but props to him, you know, he was looking at the prostitutes and stuff, and at the end, you know, but the end of the movie, I haven't told you this theory yet, Tyler, like, at the end, you know how, like, she's, like, really, like, he's like, I'll take it, you know, I'll take it, and she's like, no, I can't, you know, I can't put you through this, you know, but then, why after the pool scene is she, like, not reluctant anymore, you know, and she just gives it to him freely? There's a good theory that they're saying, like, you know, okay, well, you know how they shot in the head and it just, like, it totally lost, you know, like, it just totally floated into the pool, and, you know, there's some things seen, you know, when that scene where the blood's, like, going all over the pool, and then, like, the things in the pool that, since nobody else could see it, but she saw it, that she saw its true form, and she was so horrified by it that she just wanted to get it off of her, get it away from her so fast that she gave it to Paul without no reluctancy, which would make sense. And, you know, at the end of the movie it says that, you know that she's with him, but if you see at the end of the movie where they are holding hands at the end, and he grips her hand, and, you know, she kind of reluctant to it. She's, like, kind of, like, tensed by it, you know, she doesn't really want to be with him, but she's with him because, you know, like, she's like, okay, he has it too, so, you know, he's going to be, like, a good marker and stuff. I think that she's totally using Paul for the film to, you know, to be, like, a marker for him, you know, for like, her and stuff.
I could see it.
But, yeah, I just think it's a great film. I'm going to end the podcast right now. Alright, see you guys. Thanks for watching. We did a pretty long podcast today. I know the last ones have been like an hour and a half, but this one I think was a solid over 2 hours, maybe 2.5, but pretty much gave our rundown on the slashers, big slasher franchises. I know we didn't go over the small ones like we said, but, you know, the small ones, you know, those are really like the big ones. The only one I could really think that is actually good is the My Bloody Valentine. The others, you know, they're fucking, you know, they are what they are. But those ones are really it. But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys. I don't know, next week. You know, it's whenever we do a podcast. We do them whenever we want. Whenever we want. That's whenever we do the podcast. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys had a good time watching this, whenever it is. And if the new Halloween movies came out by the time you're watching this in a year in advance, 2 years in advance, and they suck, then you know that I probably fucking hung myself, because I can't stand any more shitty fucking movies. Alright, thanks for watching me, guys, and I hope you guys had a great fucking time. Thanks, see ya, peace.